This is my latest must-have garage tool, and I'll admit that I'm a changed man. It wasn't that long ago where I thought that a battery-operated air compressor was kind of dumb. I thought, why do I need one of those if I have a portable air compressor in my garage where I can fill tires or run power tools? Until recently, I watched a guy fix a flat tire in a parking lot. He keeps one of these air compressors in his van along with one of these tire plug kits, and I thought that is just brilliant. He found the nail, he pulled it out, stuck in a plug, pumped up the tire, and he was out of there in no time. Now, I'm not saying this is the best portable air compressor. You can check out Project Farm for that, but it was right for me because I'm already heavily invested in the Dewalt 20-volt power tool system. I know that's exactly where they want me. They got me by the batteries, but it is pretty nice to have one battery system, one charger, and multiple tools. On top of that, I've been 99.999% happy with my Dewalt power tools. So let's check this thing out. I've got a 4 amp hour battery here, but this thing runs on the 2 amp hour, the 3, probably the 6, or any other 20 volt battery that they make for the system. Locks into place, doesn't add much weight, it's well balanced, and I like the layout of this air compressor. It's very uncomplicated, simple, not a whole lot of options, but does everything you need. If we start on the left side here, you can see the power button. The nice thing is you've got these 2 backlit LCD screens. Not only that, but the buttons themselves are backlit, so they're prepared that you're going to be using this thing possibly at night in the dark. In fact, there's even a work light here on the side. And when you first turn the machine on, it defaults to the high pressure setting, and that's using the hose on the left side of the machine. But you can switch here to the high volume setting, and that's the bigger hose on the right, and that's for filling things like air mattresses and other high volume things. But let's go back to high pressure for filling tires. The system works super easy. This is a dial on the right side here, and you just dial in the pressure that you want. If you're filling a car tire, it might be 30, 35 pounds, so you just set it to the pound that you want, and then you hit start after you've connected the hose to the vehicle. When it reaches full capacity, it turns off automatically. Now, even if you don't have a Dewalt battery, you can still use this air compressor. There's an optional AC power supply, but on the left side here, there's a compartment that stores a DC power plug, and this plugs into a standard 12-volt outlet. So you can run this from your vehicle without any battery installed at all. The high volume hose is located on the right-hand side, as well as some of these handy adapters. There's a needle for filling balls and whatnot. And then there's a nice press-to-valve adapter for all you fancy cyclists. Now, these I think are kind of poorly placed, and I feel like they're going to fall off in time. So it might be a good idea to get an optional carry case for this thing. Otherwise, there's not much to it. The air hose is seated very nicely, and it has a nice brass fitting that screws onto the valve stem. So let's take this outside to some tires and try it out. Now, I've got a number of vehicles on the property, including tractors, cars, trucks, trailers, utility vehicles, so the portability of this is going to come in really handy. So let's give it a test on this tractor tire. I like how the hose wraps around and is stored right here on the unit. It screws directly onto the valve stem, so you don't have to hold it in place, you just leave it there. Then when you turn the unit on, you'll see the current air pressure. Now, maximum air pressure for these tires is recommended to be 35 pounds. I can see I've got 25.6. So we can dial this up until we get to, let's do 32 pounds. You can go in half-pound increments, which is nice. Let's go with 32 pounds. We'll hit start, and you'll see how it turns off all by itself. Now, it's not the fastest thing, but it's accurate and it's convenient. I don't know if it's by design, but it seems to overinflate by a couple tenths of a pound, which is really nice because whenever you disconnect that valve stem, you lose a little bit of air. So I'd like to believe that was by design. Now, if you leave the compressor on, it remembers the PSI setting that you just used, so you can walk around your vehicle, connect it to each tire, and just hit start. You can set the air pressure from 3 pounds all the way up to 160 pounds. Now this camper takes up to 50 pounds in the tires, so let's dial this one in up to, let's do 48. I like how it does low pressure tires too. Now if you have a keen ear, you'll notice since these tires only take up to 18 pounds, I've let a couple pounds out, you'll hear that the compressor actually runs slower for these low pressure tires. Now in case you didn't hear that, let me demonstrate. I'm going to set this to the lowest setting, which is 3 pounds. And hit start. Now I'm going to pause it and set it to 86 pounds. There are a few safety features built in. If you leave the power on, it'll turn off automatically in a minute or so. If you leave it running, it won't run longer than 10 minutes. And each time you turn it off and back on again, it resets to 0, so you have to set the pressure each time. Earlier today, I deflated this Subaru tire to about 5 pounds, and it took about 7 minutes to fully inflate it to about 32 pounds. So again, it's not the fastest thing, but it sure is convenient. I'm not going to demonstrate the high volume function. You can use that for filling up air mattresses and whatnot, but I'll show you what it sounds like. Pretty handy, especially if you're a camper. Things I really like about this, first of all, I like that it's lightweight and so portable. I like the way the hoses are integrated and wrap around, that they include a 12-volt power adapter so you can run it off your vehicle. I like that you can preset, or you actually have to preset, the pounds, and then it turns off automatically. It's well made. There's really nothing about it to dislike because it does what it's made to do. You're not going to use this for any air tools or things like that, but for convenience, I think you just can't beat it. You know what I really like? This brass fitting on the air hose. I just really appreciate quality machine parts. Now, this is not a sponsored video, but if you think the Dewalt air compressor is right for you, there is an affiliate link in the description, and you can support the channel by clicking on that link. Be sure to check out this video for one of my other favorite tools. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.